The most common mentor coaching engagement you'll have is with an ACC credentialed coach working toward PCC. They've passed the evaluation, they're competent, they've built real skills, and they're stuck in a way they can't see because nobody has shown them what PCC level actually means in their own practice, their own coaching room. Your job is to make that invisible gap visible. That's what this video is about. Here's the gap. Your MC client sees competent questions, solid structure, good client rapport. What you see with trained evaluation eyes is the distance between doing coaching and being a PCC level coach. Competent coaching gets a client somewhere useful. PCC level coaching consistently follows the client's lead, explores what's meaningful, and holds space for real thinking to emerge. The ACC coach often can't see this gap because they don't have language for it. That's exactly why marker language exists, to make the gap speakable. Name what you see. The shift from ACC to PCC is not additive. PCC is not more of ACC. More questions, more listening. That's the most persistent misunderstanding I encounter in this work. The markers describe integration, competencies that were discrete skills becoming one fluid practice. At ACC level, presence and listening are demonstrated separately, correctly, in sequence. At PCC level, they're not two things. The coach's response to the client's energy shift is the demonstration of presence. One movement. When you give developmental feedback, that's the shift you're pointing toward. Not do more, but notice how these become one. Lead with the observable pattern, not the marker number. There's a real difference between you're not demonstrating 7.2 and your questions explore the situation well, but they don't often reach into how the client thinks about themselves in relation to it. The second version is something a coach can check against their own recording. They can listen and hear whether it's true. Name what you observed. Describe the pattern. Then, when the coach is ready for precision, add the marker reference. Pattern first, marker second. That's the sequence. The other side of developmental feedback is specific, grounded celebration. Not great job, but at 14:20, you shared your observation and then you waited. You let it land without following up. That's marker 7.5. Sharing with no attachment, that's PCC. That specificity builds the coach's capacity to self-assess in real time and shows them PCC is not a distant credential. It's already emerging. Most ACC coaches believe PCC is still ahead of them. Part of your job is to show them it's also already here. That reframe matters more than most people expect. Before we move on, when you last gave feedback to a PCC candidate, what did you actually name? Did you name behaviors you asked good questions but didn't explore the emotion? Or did you name the level? That's a solid ACC move, and here's what would make it PCC. The difference isn't only precision. Naming the level tells the coach where they are on the developmental map and where they're going. That's the feedback that creates movement. Calibrate your feedback to where the coach is in their development. 3 rough categories. Early PCC. You're already demonstrating C3 and C4 consistently. That's your foundation. C7 is the next growth edge. Build confidence first. They need to know the path is navigable. Mid-PCC. Your listening and presence are PCC level. C8, growth facilitation, is still ACC. You close quickly without exploring what the client learned about themselves. Name the specific gap. Near PCC, 2 or 3 markers maximum. You're close, 7.5 and 6.4 Hold the space after sharing. That's the move, not more than that. The most effective developmental feedback is grounded in the coach's own session, not hypotheticals in what actually happened in the recording you both just heard. Consider the client says, "I just feel stuck." The coach asks what they've tried. Solid ACC move, exploring the situation, the what. The PCC move, explore what stuck feels like for this person, what it connects to, and how they see themselves as a leader. Moving from the what to the who, bring that moment back from their own recording. They can hear the gap and begin to recognize that choice point in real time. PCC marker language is a precision tool for naming what you see, making the gap tangible, and celebrating the moments where PCC is already emerging. Not a catalog, not an audit, a developmental conversation that moves. Your MC client needs 3 or 4 developmental priorities in plain language with specific evidence from their own coaching. The markers give you the vocabulary for exactly that. Name the patterns, celebrate the shifts,